Twist of Fate Thursday the 27th of January 2022 Update on Z World. Tanu tells Pragya that she must have heard any case verdict where if there is no proofs, the judge gives the verdict. She says you have just 3 days. She says same thing will happen with Abi after 3 days, when neither will you get any proofs against me nor any witness. She smiles and goes. Abi comes there and tells Pragya that he was waiting for her and sent everyone to the farmhouse. Raghuveer Ji comes there. Pragya says I will bring water. Raghuveer Ji says it's okay. Abi asks what did Tanu say. Pragya tells that it doesn't matter, as you are with me, it is enough for me. Raghuveer Ji says sorry and says I met with an accident and missed the audio clip. Abi says no problem, my wife has all the solution. He says first we shall take you to hospital. Aryan opens the door. Daddy, Alia and others come there. Aryan asks about Abi. Alia says she is calling him. Ria says dad is with lawyer in the hospital. Prachi says I will call Ma, she must be with him. Mitali tells that Bahadur has already made the coffee. She tells Ria that her room is set. Ria goes. Pragya comes there with Abi. Daddy asks Abi to take a hot water bath. Abi goes. Daddy asks if Prachi's room is set. Mitali says I will take her to room. Ria comes there and tells Alia that Bahadur haven't set the room well. She takes her with her. Ranbir tells Aryan that they used to stay here before, but then shifted to different houses. Pragya brings coffee for Daddy. Daddy praises her and asks her to end this case and complete her happiness. She says I know that you can do this. Pragya smiles. Daddy remembers an important work and goes. Pragya recalls Mr. Singhania's words that Abi is an exceptional case and had raped Tanu. She recalls Tanu's threat. Abi comes there and tells that he has selected clothes with her help. Pragya says it is good and tells that she forgot to bring coffee for him. Abi tells her that she is fulfilling the promise which she had taken during their marriage and protecting him like a shield. Pragya says she couldn't protect him, else she wouldn't have missed the audio clip. She says she had collided with a pregnant lady. When she was helping her, someone else came and deleted the audio. Abi says when you are with me, I get strength else I am nothing. Pragya gets emotional. Abi asks if she wants him to get sad. Pragya nods no and hugs him. Abi comforts her and reciprocates the hug. Ala Warrian plays. They smile together. Just then Abi's phone rings, Abi picks the call and goes from there. Aryan tells Ranbir that he would have brought swimming costume. Ranbir says I am coming here from court. Aryan says we used to do dive in the pool if you had bought. They laugh. Aryan says I have noticed that you are very good or smart, you are doing so much for Prachi and is too good. Ranbir asks what did I do? Aryan says you have done so much for Chief and even got the certificate from Dr. Ranbir says I am doing this for Chief. Aryan says I know that you love Chief a lot but you are doing this for Prachi, don't lie. Ranbir says I asked Prachi clearly, if she loves me and she refused me on my face. He says even I don't love her and says I am doing this for Chief and I don't care at all about her. He asks him not to talk to him about Prachi. Prachi overhears them and goes. A vase falls down. Aryan says she heard everything. Ranbir says it is good, I had seen her and tells that he didn't want her to know his feelings, and thinks she goes away from him knowing his feelings. Alia tells Pragya that it is very disappointing in court. Pragya says at least he came home. Alia tells that he came on bail and says we went to court to get him freed. She says I will support you until Bai gets freed. She says we can do compromise with Tanu, if you says. Pragya asks what. Alia says she can give her greed about property, home or shares. Pragya asks her to give her 2 days. Alia says she believes that if Bai don't return home then it is because of her. Daddy comes there and says you shall not say anything to Pragya, Abi is her husband and she got the lawyer which you couldn't do. She says if you can't appreciate her, then don't point your finger on her. Abi comes there and asks what is going on. Pragya says they were talking about rooms and gives coffee to Abi. Abi says old house and memories and praises Pragya. Alia says she will call insurance company for the claim. Shahana calls Pragya and tells that they reached farmhouse. She tells that Sarita Bayan got hurt and had slipped from the stairs. She tells that she wants medicines and asks Pragya to come. Sarita Bayan asks Shahana to end the call and scolds her. Pragya tells Abi that she has to go and help Sarita Bayan. Shahana asks Sarita Bayan why is she hitting her with pillows and says if her eye gets hurt then nobody will marry her. Sarita Bayan says it's good. She says Pragya will get worried about me. Tanu looks at Abi's pic and moves rose on it. She tells that her wish is his command and he shall accept the rose. She calls Abi. Abi identifies her voice and says Tanu. Tanu asks why did you tell that there is nothing between us? Abi says he don't have waste time to talk to her and ends the call. Tanu continues talking and says only I can save you and not Pragya. She realizes the call is disconnected and calls him again. Abi switches off his phone and throws in anger. Tanu calls him and finds her number blocked. She throws her phone down and thinks Pragya can't do anything even if she wants, and feels happy. Pragya coming to Shahana and Sarita Bayan. She asks how are you? Sarita Bayan asks why did you come? She says the circumstances are not good. Pragya says I have reached safely and asks her show her foot. Sarita Bayan shows her foot and asks her to think about her problem and says your husband's court hearing is after 3 days, and we have just less time left. She asks her to think how to save her husband and how to expose Tanu. She says Tanu understands all you're trying and executes a new trick. She says you shall be more scared than me and asks her to focus on the case, as Tanu is eager to snatch your everything. She says this is 20 years old eagerness, now she is dangerous for all the family. She says Alia had told that they have to handle Tanu differently else they can't win the case. Pragya says Alia suggested me to do compromise with Tanu. Sarita Bayan asks what did you say? Pragya says I said that she will think. Sarita Bayan asks her to go to Tanu and understand how to calm down her ego, anger, etc. She says the judge has taken his verdict, and it needs to be declared just. Pragya recalls the judge's words. Sarita Bayan asks her to think and asks if you met him to part away with Mr. Mehra. She says this is not truth and wrong game, but became Darmud. She says it needs sacrifice. Pragya says I will apply you medicine first. Sarita Bayan asks her to go and meet Tanu, tells that she shall not think anything and Mr. Mehra shall get freed too. Shahana takes the ointment and says she will apply. Pragya calls Tanu and says send me your address, I am coming there. Tanu asks did you call me by mistake, or did you accept your mistake? Pragya ends the call. Tanu thinks why Pragya want to meet me. Pragya comes to meet Tanu. Tanu says you came and does poetry. Pragya recalls Abi and Alia's words, judge believing that rape had happened. Tanu asks why she is crying like weak cat and tells that today night is Qiyamah night, says she is so scared. Pragya recalls her promise made to Abi and sits down pleading with Tanu to leave Abi. She asks her to take out her anger on her, took revenge on her and leave him. Tanu checks her mobile and says I am checking if you are recording the video. Pragya says I will not do anything. Tanu says you have analyzed well, that you can't get him out of the jail and the charges, says you have broken or say I have broken you. I was waiting for this day, you was proud of your kumkum, husband and used to say that the kumkum-filled head feels proud. She tells that she is happy to see her kumkum head bent down in front of her. She says Abi told me so much and threw me out of the house. She forces her to say that she has done a mistake by returning in Abi's life and stopping her marriage. Pragya cries and accepts that she has done a mistake by returning in Abi's life and apologizing to stop her marriage. She asks her to forgive her and take Abi out of the lockup. Ria comes to Abi. Abi asks her to come. Ria says how did you come that I have come? Abi says just as you come to know. Ria says she is scared of the judge verdict. Abi says judge is like principal. Ria says how will you save yourself from this punishment? Abi says why will I save myself and tells that her mom will save him. He says she is like a legendary warrior and has saved me from Tanu many times. He tells that Pragya had brought Tanu home once, and says what to tell you. He says then she came back as a Hitler and rescued him. Tanu likes to see Pragya pleading in front of her and says I said like that I will forgive Abi and let him go, to make you stop crying. She tells that we will start with your love story and says Abi used to say that you was his inspiration etc. and asks do you really love Abi? Tanu asks how much. Pragya says which you can't think of. Tanu says I will ask you to do something which you can't think of and asks her to rub her nose on her feet and apologize to her. Pragya is shocked. Tanu says what happened, you can't do this, and says you will have just some trash on her nose and asks her to see her kumkum then. Pragya says nothing is important to me than my husband and will rub my nose on your feet so that you take back the case, says I love him so much. Tanu stops her and says I made you so helpless that you agreed to rub your nose. She says you are doing this, as judge has decided. Pragya says she is ready to give her anything and asks what she wants, his property, money. Tanu says she just wants one thing, her kumkum. She asks her to get Abi married to her, else she will send him to jail. She says if you love him, then leave him and go away from his life. She says Abi was mine, before you got married to him. She says he was with me on your first night, time has come for you to leave. She asks her to forget all her promises, kumkum and marriage, and tells that she has broken everything. She asks her to get her married and leave from here. She says you have today's daytime, think and take a decision, else judge will take his decision. Pragya is shocked. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and even share.